Right, now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe football show. It's time for a video. Yeah, anyway, sorry. Yeah, apologies for being late, first and foremost. They were doing penalties because they've got a cup final at the weekend. Semi-final, sorry. So they were doing penalties, which meant I was late getting off, and then my parking space was gone. So I must have gone up and down my street about 4 or 5 times to try and park. And I managed to find somewhere in the end. So that's why I'm late. Tonight's video, obviously, I brought Matty on from Imagine Not Being Leeds. Now, Matty was of the same thinking of me right at the start of the season in terms of best team in the league, best manager, Leeds are going up, 10-point gap, etc., etc. Now, I feel that maybe Matty's opinions waned over the last few weeks, including my own, with regards to the 10-point gap, etc. So I wanted to bring on Matty and just to gauge where he's at and see if we're still in the same place, if we're still confident Leeds will go up, etc. Danny's put his channel in the chat. If you haven't already subscribed to Matty, then please do. From Imagine Not Being Leeds. So yeah, without further ado, let's bring in Matty and let's see what Matty has got to say. Matty, welcome, mate. You well?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, a little bit nervous, but other than that, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, talk to me, mate. Straight out the gate. Leeds United getting automatic. Are we winning the title? Where you at?
Now you're putting me on spot there, buddy. I suppose that's what I'm here for. I don't know, mate. I'm so hoping I'm such a positive fan. This is the first time. I say first time. I think second time I wavered. That away form before Christmas were bothering me, as you know. We had a bit of a chat about that before Christmas, and I've been totally on the train of we are going to smash the league ever since. You know, that really good run we went on. I just didn't see us being in a predicament where we win 1 in 5, Joe. I don't think anybody did.
No.
There's multiple reasons for that. What I don't like at the minute is a lot of fans are saying you can't single out a player and you can't do this. I think you can. I think you are allowed to single out moments in games and players' performances. You know, Melier, totally at fault for that first goal. There's accumulation for the second goal, and there's multiple players not performing currently, which is, you know, is right. But we still score 2 goals at home, and that should be enough to win that game. You know, and I'm definitely wavering, pal. The first time I've lost faith in Farke, or, you know, I'm not saying Farke out. I'm still not Farke out, but I'm losing faith in Farke. That's probably a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
I aren't too sure now, even on promotion, which I still think we'll get. I aren't too sure there's a man to lead us into Premier League now, which I've never said before. I've always said, you know, life, you deserve merit for what you do well. You should be given the chance. I wouldn't love my football club if they were to sack someone who's got promoted. I'm sort of wavering on that now. I just aren't too sure he's the guy that I thought he was. I'm hoping as the week goes on I get more positive. I did through the international break. I started off a little bit like this. As we got closer to game time, it switched up and I'm confident predicting a 4-0. And now I'm back to that again. I'm hoping the back end of the week I start to turn it around.
So what do you think has changed for you then? Because I think for me, Matty, he's got 7 games regardless. He's not getting sacked. I think that's why he's come out and said, and nor should he be sacked, by the way.
No.
Like, he shouldn't be sacked. At the end of the day, if we miss out, we're going to miss out by a couple of points or whatever. It's still not good enough. But he shouldn't be sacked in the running. He's got these 7 games to save his job, as it were. And then you said, maybe the club might go, you know, look, we offered you a keeper, you didn't take it, you've been your own worst enemy, maybe we'll review it. I think for me, I've been a big supporter of his, and I still am. I still think and hope, more hope than no now, like more hope, blind hope, if you like, that Leeds United can still do it. There's a lot of talk of, they'll drop points. Jack, big up Jack City, believes that the other 2 will drop points. I'm not sure with Burnley.
I don't.
I'm just not sure with Burnley because they've lost 2 all season. So I'm like, are they then all of a sudden going to lose hatfuls? I'm not too sure, but Leeds need to be near perfect now. what's been the biggest issue for you from Farke?
I think Farke's stubbornness, Joe. I think he's very stubborn. Don't get me wrong, the best manager in the world are like that. You know, they don't like to deviate from the plan. Bielsa was same, and we loved him, didn't we? So I just think his willingness to keep playing players who are out of form based on the fact that they may be his best players. You know, in that position now, where I think Dan James, I think Solomon. I think there's a conversation that there may be some rotation needed there. They've been his best players at times this season, the best wingers, the best players in the league for. They had a purple patch, Joe, where for maybe 8 or 9 games they were on fire, which coincided with our good run. I'm now looking at it thinking, you've got Willie Nonto chomping a bit. He's reluctant to start him in the 10, although that may change as we know going forward.
I think he will.
I think so, potentially. But if not, there's a conversation that Willie should start maybe on one of wings. There's a conversation that Ramazani's a great talent. We're not seeing it off the bench. He ain't getting enough minutes. Maybe Solomon's a bit tight. Do we give Ramazani a start? I'm at the thinking now, Joe, where people know what his lineup's going to be. People know what to expect from Leeds United, and we're getting figured out again a little bit now. And it's not the sitting behind ball; they're actually attacking us. They're
pressing us now.
They're pressing us into oblivion, and we can't cope with it. And I'm thinking, do we throw a curveball? Do we start Darlow? Do we start a Nonto or Ramazani? Because I won't be expecting it. Maybe we try something different. I feel like it's gone stale, pal. I feel like it's all gone a little bit stale, and maybe mixing it up a little bit won't do us no harm, buddy. We've got a bench, we've got a squad. Fucking use it. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, there has been. Yeah, I think the lack of using the bench enough. I don't think for the period that James and Solomon were starting that. I now believe Nonto deserves a start, by the way, but not, and I won't be swayed on the Ramazani Joseph chat. Do you know what I found funny over the last few days is like the people, and I know you weren't one of them, but the people that were advocating, you know, that are now out in the open, and this isn't anybody in the chat or anything, just in general, I see it saying, "Oh, see, I knew this, I knew that." Why are you talking about Joseph? Why aren't they talking about Joseph anymore? Because my man comes off the bench and has stinker after stinker.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And they wanted this guy to start week in, week out, but no one ever mentions that anymore. No. You know, we forget that they made these takes. I've seen some crazy stuff on about the managers. It's the manager's fault, the January and all that sort of shit. These same people were saying the exact same about Marcelo Bielsa and are now doing some madness that they want him back. Honestly, I don't know how people can't see through it. I don't, mate. But one thing's for sure that Nonto now deserves a start. Ramazani and Joseph, for me, need to be doing more off the bench. I'm not sure I subscribe to the notion of they're not given enough time. However, they should have been given more minutes. They should have been given more minutes for me, Matty.
I mean, there were a period in this season where they were using the bench a lot, and that coincided when we were winning games comfortably, and he could bring 4 or 5 subs on when we're 3-0 up. We were doing that quite often, and we were saying, "Oh, look at it, he trusts his bench, and he really rotates his squad. You know, everyone's getting minutes. Look at the bench; they're coming on and impacting games with 20 goals, I think, from substitutes who are flying." But as our performances have dipped and the games have got tighter, he's more reluctant to make these subs now. It's like he actually doesn't trust them. He only trusted him when we had a 2-goal buffer, which I think you've seen since the Sunderland game onwards. They've been a lot tighter, and you've seen these players use less, meaning they can't get into a run of form, Joe. And the problem now is you're stuck now with form players starting, and the players on the bench are coming on cold. So I get your point, but I don't know what they're expected to do when they haven't had a run of minutes. You know, because you've ran James into ground, you've ran Solomon into ground because they've been playing so well. Now all of a sudden we need your help, but guess what? They're not fit enough to do it. Match fit enough to do it. That's where I'm sort of annoyed with it. You know, there were many times this season, Joe, where they could have started a Ramazani, they could have started a Nonto in these 3-game weeks and stuff like that, and he didn't do it. He's flogged a lot of them, and now we're seeing his best players are out of form. Piro's out of form. James is not quite at it. Solomon were poor.
Think on the Piro stuff, we should have gone out and got a 9.
100%. Armstrong were there. You know, you look at it now and you go, he might not be pulling up the trees. You look at it now and just think, yeah, of course it is. They've pinned all their hopes on Joseph in pre-season. I thought he was going to smash it. He didn't. Same. By January, we knew he wasn't the answer, but they still didn't press the button. And that, you know, that's been an issue. The goalkeeper and the striker have been an issue. Luckily, Piro's got a decent amount of goals, and if I'm honest, even if you take Piro out in terms of he's got 15 goals, obviously he plays, but I mean, if you just look alongside him, the team as a collective has scored enough goals. In the last 8, we've scored 12, which isn't bad, but we've conceded 8. So I don't really subscribe to the notion of Piro's is out of form. He's still doing bits. He's still trying to link up. Some games he struggles to get in. We know that with Piro.
Yeah,
but we know he tends to put the ball away. Recently, hasn't been putting the ball away, but I don't think it's a massive problem. I think he's a finisher and that will come good. It's more we've conceded 8 in the last 8. That's the issue. We're conceding an average a goal a game now. Why is that? And that's not just Meslier, by the way. Obviously, he's only, you could really say 1 or 2 mistakes in those 8 goals it is. There's still 6 goals coming from, other areas. We know Ampadu's come back. That should maybe shore that up a little bit, but we are leaking goals now. We've been conceding first goal a lot as well.
Yeah.
But that's a worry. It's the form has happened. The dipping form has happened at the worst possible time. We saw it last year, and I'm not one for reading too much into past and that Leeds is tagging that. But it feels like it's something in it again. The last 11 games were shocking. It's creeping in again now, and you know what I think? You can't sack Farke now, Joe. You can't.
No, you can't.
This is where I think though he's got to tweak something with the team. Do something different because it's the same voice. You think last season with 7 games to go, we were in a similar position. Are we going to go up? Are we not going to go up? As form was slipping, he's in dressing room, probably saying the exact same thing now as he said last year. The same voice, say the same thing over and over again. Do the players buy in? Do the players actually look at Farke and believe what he's telling them? I ain't too sure he does. How can you believe someone who keeps playing? Look at Darlow.
Come on now, come on, say that again for me.
No, but how can I'm just saying in life? If someone tells you something and they're dead sure on it, Joe, yeah. Dead sure. Yeah. And it doesn't work once. Fair enough, that happens. But then it's creeping in again. And he's putting the same message, try to G him up the same as he did last year. Same as he will do. It'll be same in day out. There'll be a routine. There'll be a set. How can you buy into that notion if you've already seen it fail once and it's starting to fail again? There might be some players in that dressing room potentially, especially with the Meslier thing. Now, say he starts Meslier on Saturday.
Yeah, that's...
Darlow's probably thinking, well...
Yeah, whatever. No, I agree with that.
Joe Rodon, who's I'm going into Welsh, he might think the same because he could be close to Darlow. He's been away in national duty. There could be a little segregation going on there between certain players. I'm just speculating.
We had a joke, like Lockie made a joke and said there'll be a Welsh group chat. Surely,
of course there will be, mate. Of course there will be. I mean, if we can get a Creators Cup going, mate, and all be in a group chat, sending stuff all every day, and I'm sure the Welsh lads will have something similar. So it's 100%. And I'm not saying that creates a divide. I think it's been a pretty good dressing room all season. There's been players who don't play many minutes. Your Schmitz and even your Geldats before he left. There hasn't been any fallout, a bit like we had with Cresswell last year. There hasn't been none of that. So I think there's been a lid on it this season. But what I'm saying is if someone tells you something, looks you in the eye every day and tells you this, and it doesn't work, then he does it again, and you see the same pattern a year later, you'd only be human to start doubting that. That's where I'm coming from. There's potential will be doubt setting in. So I think freshening it up, changing something, a couple of people, tactics, freshening it up. It's stale. It's the same voice. It's the same way of playing. Everything's the same. And it's slipping. You can see it sliding, pal. It's happening in front of us bloody eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worrying, isn't it?
No,
it's worrying. And obviously, I feel like now we've got 3 games in 7 days and 2 of them are away. It's going to be so...
Dinner time kickoff.
It's going to be so tough, isn't it, mate?
I'm sort of happy they're away, though, Joe, to be honest. I feel like the pressure at home would be even bigger. I'm quite.
Yeah, maybe
could be a good thing.
I do just want to quickly shoot some comments. Damar says he turned down a keeper, Joe. Exactly what I said to you, and you called it bullshit. Now look, it has been reported, and if I called it bullshit, Damar, I apologise, my man. It's because half at time you do talk shit. But I'm only joking. Nina Pants. No, it isn't Twitter rumours, mate. It was actually reported in The Athletic just the other day by Baron Cross. This is The Athletic piece. That there was a conversation we had between Farke and Marate about Meslier. How serious a problem is this? Will there be the difference between promotion and failure? Can we help you by getting a new stopper in the transfer market? If that's a decision that's been made by the manager, and if Damar's true here, we'll find out when it all comes out in the wash. If it was Farke that turned down Armstrong, then you do have to go, what are you doing? Because there's 2 surefire ways that could have... Look, it's not out of the realms of possibility that had Leeds replaced Meslier or had Leeds got a half-competent keeper, we'd already be home and hose, Matty, and we'd be talking about that 10-point gap, mate. Yeah, because ultimately... you know, the drop points are insane. Yeah, what do you make to that potential conversation? And if, you know, what will Parag must be thinking?
Well, this is it, mate. Like you say, he's got 7 games to not only get us promoted, but to save his job, and that might still not be enough. I think going up should see him keep his job, but I think also the way we go up is going to be important as well for the owners. It won't be too important for us, I suppose. We'll just be buzzing to be up, but I think they'll be looking at stuff, you know, in detail. They'll be looking behind the scenes. They'll be seeing how the players are reacting to him. I know you said he won't get sacked. It'd be wild to sack someone who were in third, but if we were to lose next 2. There's going to be conversations, you know, there will be. If we were to lose next 2, I think there's never been a doubt in the 49ers' mind that we'll get promoted. I don't think there's ever been a doubt. Me and you were saying we've never doubted we'll go up this season. Yeah. But now the doubt's creeping in. So give it another couple of weeks, bearing in mind points are running out. And I don't think that we're daft in saying we won't go up via playoffs. Obviously, we could. But a lot of people are saying we won't. And I don't think Parag will be against that either. I think they'll know if we go in, it's a lottery. And to fall into the playoffs, Joe, out of form, it's the worst thing that can happen in sport.
Matty, if we end third, I'm already gearing up for another season in the championship, mate. We will not go up through the.
And then can you imagine the state of a side by then? You'll be diluted down. It'll be stripped back.
You need a new manager.
Yeah, it'd be awful.
Because he gets a sack regardless. He gets the sack.
No, he does. I mean, I'm probably the only person I think I've seen since the game on Saturday on YouTube or anywhere really saying I do believe Darlow starts. I think he picks Darlow. I think it's too risky not to.
I agree. I think he has to.
I know he has to, but do you think he does? Because I've seen a lot of people say has to, but does he?
I think he will this time. Yeah,
I do. People say, "Oh, well, he hasn't before." Yeah, but after so many times, eventually there is an end to that.
And you've like an idiot now. Like it's like fool me once, fool me twice, whatever it is, bro. Like for me, he has to, because if we go away to Luton, which by the way they'll be popping balls on top of our goalkeeper left, right, and centre. This is what they'll do. Who's the left back who smashed it in the Premier League? He's got a right delivery on him. I forget his name.
Yeah.
Alfie Devac. No, someone will let us know in the chat. But yeah, he is gonna Alfie Doherty. That's it. He'll be prime for that. So for me, we have to make a change, because if the manager again goes with him and he makes another Rick and he makes another issue, then for me, there will be calls to sack him before the season.
Oh, mate, if he starts Melly on Saturday and we lose it to Howler, it's a sackable offence. I'm not saying they would. It's a sackable offence.
Even I would be going, I'm sorry, mate. Like at this point, you have signed your own death warrant by doing that. You know what I mean?
Play Darlow. If he makes an error, it's not on Farke.
Yeah.
It's not on Farke. Exactly. Everyone will go, well, what more could he do? Play Cairns or play bloody Byram in that you can't. The only option he's got to come out of it with any credibility, regardless of the result. The result, if we lose, should be based on something else that happens outfield. Fair enough. That could also be Farke's fault. But down to the goalkeeper, the only sensible decision to make where he's not culpable for any criticism is play Darlow. And that's his safest. Honestly, if he doesn't do that, he's absolutely just the most daftest man in football. He's 100%. And I know, like I've seen Danny in chat saying, he'll stick with him because he's stuck with him so many times. Yeah, but eventually, there is a line eventually, and I just don't see how there's too much noise around it now. And honestly, even from like a mental health standpoint, mate, he needs taking out of this side. He needs it. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair for him to keep getting put in these situations where his confidence is low. I mean, not fair. He gets paid a lot of money. I'm been a bit daft there, but he's got to protect him as a person as well. And I think now is the right time to take him outside. It won it all. Let's be fair. It won it all. And it's so annoying though, Joe, because it was his best game. It was his best game in a Leeds shirt for years, mate. I said same as you. I said to the bloke next to me, I think he made save. It went out for a corner 5 minutes early. I said he's having man at match him, and then within 5 minutes he's probably gone from an 8 out of 10 man at match to, we don't want to see him in a Leeds shirt.
Yeah. I just because I can see the chat, and obviously I'm reading through them as they come in. If we balls it up, obviously it's sackable. He'll get the sack, but I don't know if this is. We've still had an amazing season, Matty.
I say all the time, Joe.
We've scored the most goals. Every key metric stuff. What I don't understand is when people are saying not to dig anyone out, leaving Farke in charge is not acceptable. Well, that's bullshit for me. because we're second, same points as Burnley, you know, and 2 back from Sheffield United. Let's not pretend that we've people copium or whatever. We've still had fucking good seat. Like we're in the season until the season's done. Then we won't know if it's been a success or not. Like at the end of the day, if we finish third, folks, I'm saying it's not successful. My point is, those that are saying let's throw it all in the bin now, we've only had 1 run similar to this, and this is when we were struggling to win away from home, if you remember, and we were having similar discussions then. Yeah. But my point is, I guess I'm just coming round to the idea that we can't be sacking him now, people. Like, honestly, this is a fucking wild decision to think that you sack this manager now with 7 games to go. And Leeds United at times this season, this is what I'm saying about everyone comes out of the woodwork. No one was calling for this when we were beating teams. No one was going, but yeah, this is what I never get. Like, it's only when the shit hits the fan, then people start to go, I called this from day one. But it's like, well, have you forgot the times when you were Farke for a few weeks and then it was amazing and you got it wrong? But because you said it right at the start, you think that gives you some sort of credence that, because guess what? If you say his shit, eventually you're going to be right, Matt, because Farke's not going to spend the rest of his life here. Yeah. No. So, and it's laughable because I've been there and I've seen it in the chat where people go, you've always been calling it. You were always calling Farke's doing well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I find it a bit mad. I find it a bit mad, but
it's crazy, mate. Because it's crazy because third,
it's crazy, bro.
Third means you've won majority of your games. It means I've got to work on a Monday morning bouncing because we've won at weekend, which we have, you know, majority of the time. But third to Leeds United and losing in playoffs might as well be 15th. You know, it's not a successful season for Leeds United. That's what you've got to remember. You know, so it's difficult to have this conversation currently when we're in second. You know, I think the problem would come if we dropped into third and we were equal matches. You know, not a case that they played before us at all. But if we were sat in third come end of a gameplay weekend, I think that looks really, really bad when you're considering the teams we try to catch. The gap, it could be, you know, not achievable when you think of how many games there is and how many little points they drop. You know what it is with me with Farke is I'm doubting him being able to get a tune out of team to a degree where, you know, when we're playing bad, and we've had a couple of games where we haven't played well and we've still won, but it's not something we do on a regular basis. You see your Sheffield United, you see your Burnley, they can play part and win. They know how to win these games. And I know we've had the odd game like that where we pulled through and scored late winners and stuff, but it's that game where, you know, I don't feel like we've got, and it's not just on Farke, it's also the personnel, the players. We haven't got anyone who really gives it their all, as in terms of jumping in, you know, getting in ref's face, jumping into tackles. I feel like we're soft. I feel like we roll over and get his belly stroke sometimes. And I think sometimes that can come from manager. He needs to get into him, get him more fired up. I don't know if it's just that, if it's just the players. I don't know if we haven't got that kind of player in the dressing room, really. Maybe Ampadu and that's it. But I feel like we've got a bit of a soft underbelly. You know, you see Chris Wilder, you see Parker, and does he get... we had this conversation on voice note earlier, didn't we? The conversation is he the best manager in the league? You'd say yeah. I've always said yeah. I would say yeah. But is he getting the most out of his team compared to the other managers? I would have to say no.
I think it's a dip in form at the wrong time.
Of course it is. But you think, right?
In form at the wrong time.
Wilder's effectively won 4 points than Leeds, right? So whatever. I know he hasn't, but they've won 4 statistically. Burnley are equal to us. Doesn't matter how turgid the football that is. If they're in Premier League next season, they won't care. But you look at him, you know, when you're thinking ahead of next season, when we go up, you look at Farke and you think, I've said all the time, you've got to give him a chance. At Norwich, they spent 5 million, I think it was. That was the transfer budget. He didn't get given a chance. But you look at that and you spin that on your head, unless someone tells me otherwise, right? Look at Wilder. Is Wilder a better manager than Farke? No. But Wilder with Sheffield United is probably a better combination than Farke at Leeds United, potentially. Wilder took Sheffield United to Premier League and what, they finished 9th or 10th? There wasn't much difference in transfer budget he spent at Sheffield United to what Norwich did. Let's be fair, it's probably a level playing field. He took Norwich to Premier League and couldn't get nowhere near that. Chris Wilder took Sheffield United and got a tune up and got them up to top end like Bielsa did Leeds. Like,
Yeah.
so it's easy to say, nah, Wilder's nowhere near as good as Farke.
But then you've got to, yeah.
Based on that, though, Joe, he had a better season. He's had a better season than he's ever had in Prem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that is true. But then what I would say in Wilder, it seems to only fit at Sheffield United because, like,
I agree.
He went to Middlesbrough, bombed. Went to Watford, bombed. And then went back to Sheffield United, and obviously I agree.
Sometimes it's like Calvin playing for Leeds.
People saying he's a much better manager. I disagree, man. I mean, Farke was at Mönchengladbach in Bundesliga. Does Wilder get that job?
No.
Never. I think it's. Listen, it is what it is. Opinions will change.
Yeah.
And like Vic says, there's a certain type of style that Sheffield United had. The following season, they got walloped.
Yeah, they did.
You know, Leeds United had a certain style. The following season, unfortunately, we got walloped. You know, so yeah. I hear you though, but I wouldn't. Would you swap Wilder or Parker for what we have?
No, definitely not. Like I say, I like Farke. I think he's a decent manager for us. It's just they are probably getting a better tune out of their team when you think relevant to players. We've said we've got better players. I think we've got more quality in our squad than what both of them sides have. Yeah, one's technically 4 points better off than us, and other one's joint with us after playing bad football all season. So you'd have to say those managers are performing better than Farke right now. You'd have to say that because they've got worse players apparently. And do you know what I mean? I'm not saying he's a better manager, but relevant to the 39 games they've played this season, they're probably doing better.
But you think Parker's doing a better job than Farke?
I'd have to say so, yeah, because I thought they've been poor all season, yet they've got the same points, so he's equal to him.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say from a points perspective.
Because it don't matter about how we play, Joe, if we don't go up. Do you know what I mean? That's where my head span. All season I've been like, we're best side. But actually, when you strip it back, cut all that bullshit out, really. You look at just the points, because that's all that matters. And you don't go up on being best team, do you? Go up on your points. So, he gets them playing a really poor football. You stand like brand of football. They don't even like watching it. But ultimately, he's joint with his mate, and they were side were worried about more than Sheffield United. Yet we're behind Sheffield United, and they're on us tails now. And that goal difference has shrunk down, hasn't it, with Burnley? Even that shrunk down.
Again, this is a Farke decision, though. This is a Farke decision.
Yeah.
But if we just had a better goalkeeper, we won't be in this position.
No, mate. I mean, I read a
but he's continued to play him, so that's on the manager, right? That is on the manager.
It's totally on the manager, mate. Since Hull, definitely any mistake Melly has made has been not manager. But I said to you earlier before we came on, there's a stat going round, a post shot expected goals differential. So it's basically the metric that evaluates a goalkeeper's shot stopping performance relative to the difficulty the shot is faced. And in number one, you've obviously got James Trafford. Yeah. He's got plus 10.9. You've got Michael Cooper, who's fifth, with plus 7. Then you've got Melly on 0.4, but he's actually 33rd in the league. Bearing in mind, there's only 24 number one goalkeepers. Wow. He's behind 9 second string goalkeepers that have played so many games to qualify for that stat, whatever number that games that is. It's just an absurd, like, especially when Daniel Farke, I heard Evie say on yesterday's show, he's very stats based. He looks at data, yet the one he overlooks is Melier every single time. And instead of,
where does that come from? Do we know he's stat based and looks at data?
I just believe what Evie says, so I just believe
it. Don't worry, mate. You're in line with chat. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, but it's a difficult one. Like, it's like when Melier makes a mistake. What I don't like is, he outed Tanaka, and I get what you said yesterday about certain people probably can deal with that, and that's the way to deal with it.
Yeah, what did you make to that then? What
I'll say is with that, though, what I don't like is he's got questioned about Melier's mistake, and then he's thrown someone else under the bus, whereas if they don't ask that question, he probably doesn't say not about Tanaka's mistake. Do you get what I mean? I don't like how...
Do you think it's been made a bit too much out of, though, or not?
If I'm honest... I weren't happy with it. I think I disagree with you a little bit.
Go on, talk to me what you thought.
It's more his comments. It showed me he's flapping more than anything. I'm not saying there were bad comments or all like that. It was uncharacteristic for him to speak like that. Like, we know managers normally, like robots out there. It's quite boring. Is the way they talk. Yeah. I want someone honest like us. Just come and chat your mind, but they can't. They've media trained and they've got to be careful what they say. I understand. You can't say stuff these days and that, but it was just uncharacteristic. Does he firmly believe will be in Premier League? I think he has done all season.
So what do you make to that 100% thing? What do you?
Because he'll have thought it all season. He will have believed all season will go up. Yeah, he'll back himself. Why has he never said it before? Why has he said it now? because the way that game ended, his head's in a spin, he's stressed.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was in the stadium, Joe. The atmosphere were like, I was at Wembley. It felt worse on Saturday than it did. It was such an unusual, somber feel. I think the whole thing with Chris and Kev, the elation of going up, and then it was so, honestly, the emotion in that stadium was so just different to what I've experienced before. And he's then getting interviewed 5 minutes later. It's difficult. It's emotional. I understand he's probably trying to remain calm and, you know, to the training he has in media and stuff, like say the right thing. And for me, it was the wrong thing to say. You know, it's backing the players, giving them 2 days off. I don't agree with that either. If that's right, you know, I don't think he should be giving players 2 days off. I just think it showed his flapping. I'm not saying it's a bad comment. It's not all. You know, I would ideally, Joe, from game one, have my manager come out and say we're going to win league. I don't mind that. I would on TikTok. I've been slated. I would on TikTok walking down to ground saying we're going to pummel them 4-0. Can you imagine messages I've had, mate? It's gone viral as that video. 30,000 views. I'm getting absolutely rinsed. I don't mind it. Stick your head above parapet and give it some. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, it's part
but
he
of the doesn't
game,
do it,
bro.
Joe. But he doesn't do it. That's the thing, and he has. So he's flapping. His head's gone. That's my issue. That's my issue.
Do you think like it's a case of he knows regardless he's got 7 games now, hasn't he, to save his job in a sense. So it's a case of this is my last hurrah, or was it a case of him flapping? Do you think the pressure's got to him?
Yeah, I think it's pressure. I don't think it's too much of it's Jeet lads up, or you know, anything I might not be in next season I can say and do well. I think it genuinely is just pressure. I think that the heat of the moment got to him, and say he answered nothing bad. He's just said something really uncharacteristic, like he's not what he'd normally do. And even down to the 2 days off, I don't really agree with that. He spends all the international break moaning about not having players and not having right amount of time with them, and then you've got 6 days.
Let's say, for example, though, right? We go and beat Luton at the weekend.
Oh, well, right decision, pal.
This is the thing, right? So this is the thing. But my point is, I know you will, but others won't give him credit for that.
Yeah.
If he gives them 2 days off, forget about football, because some of them have been on international duty, and I know Sheffield United, but nowhere near as many as us. I think we had like 12, 13 players, whatever it is. I'm not looking for excuse. It is what it is. He knew what was coming, right? He knew what was coming.
Yeah.
But if we get promotion, if we go win the next 2 away games, then you have to say, do you know what, Daniel? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
But this is it. The manager will live and die by the decisions, right? Obviously, if he decides to change the keeper or doesn't, it's going to go 2 ways, right? He'll either get the sack or we get promoted.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going one of them 2 ways, isn't it? It's hard because obviously if he goes and wins the next 2 games, we'll all be absolutely buzzing. And we'll all say every decision is made for those 2 games will probably be right. I mean, what I will say is if he starts Mez and we beat Luton, I don't want people saying, look, he made the right decision because that
I'd still say it's the wrong decision.
Exactly, I would say it's the wrong decision regardless of result.
Yeah, same. Even if he plays every single game, I'll be like
I say, Joe, we're second now, which means we've had a good season. He's played every game, so it don't mean no based on that. But there will be people saying make the right decision. If we win 2-0 at Luton and Mez plays, it'll be, look, he made the right decision. But what I will say is we don't know what's to come yet, do we? So we're talking right now at this time on Tuesday, and right now it's relevant, the discussions we're having. The slide is on until the slide stops. And we win a game, then we can reevaluate and talk, because we can only talk about what's happening now and what we're seeing. And the pattern is, it's not just a 1 or 2 off games. It's been off now for 8, 9, you know, since Sunderland, really, it's been off. But you let those slide because the decent sides are really good at this level, and you win those games dramatic fashion. You know you can't play well every week, but the slide really happened then. You know, before that we were pumping teams 2, 3, 4s, weren't we? And like I say, it's more of a pattern now. You can see it's been a block of 8, 9 games where we haven't played well, and now we're not getting the results as well. So if we go win the next couple of games, mate, panic will be over in my head. I'm like, right, okay, we switch back on now, because I don't think we'll win 1 or 2 and then lose again. I think it's just a case of, can we stop the momentum? Because momentum is massive in sport, innit? If it's going bad, it can be so hard to get yourself off that canvas and build a winning momentum. Just like when we've been on these 17-game unbeaten runs, it's really hard to knock us off a pedestal. It just needs to stop on Saturday, mate.
Do you think the run, like, and Kilgallen, I mean, you're very, very opinionated, mate, and that's your prerogative, and that's totally fine. You've been Farke out for quite some time. If we win them games, though, like what do you believe it is clueless to expect us to go win them games?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean,
No,
you're probably the same as me,
like,
Joe. You would take 4 points, but we need 6 really, right?
we need
But
6.
it's not clueless at all, mate. I mean, Borough have been patchy. Luton are down bottom for a reason. Yeah, the form is picked up. It looks a tricky game, but we are second in the division. We do beat majority of sides we play. Like it's not out of the realms of possibility to win both games.
Luton for me were the worst team to come to Ellen Road this season.
They were really poor. They were really poor.
Really
I think there'll be a different side this time, Joe.
100%.
But I think you'd have to think we can't beat them. I think it's a daft thing to say we can't beat them because, of course, we can. We can beat anyone. You know, we really can, and it's just hard to see us going on a good run now because of how bad it's been these last 5-6 games. But I don't think it's clueless to say we can't win them because we can. Of course, we can. Do I think we're going to win them both? I don't, Joe. I don't think we win them both. I don't. But if they're going to drop any points, it needs to be. They need to win this one next.
Listen, Jamie, I agree. I'm not confident, mate. I'm not confident, and you've seen what I've been like all season. And even dropping points before the international break, I said, you know what? We come back, we win them home games, we'll be all right. And we haven't won our home game. We played Swansea, arguably perfect opposition for us to play. I said that in my preview, and it's not good. Yeah, it wasn't good, mate. It wasn't good.
You know what it is as well, Joe. We've listened to Farke all season. Well, for best part two seasons now, talking about, and we've all sort of followed that narrative of win at home, draw away. 92 points. He'll get you. Farke said that multiple times. At 2 points a game on average, he'll get you promoted.
Yeah.
I was speaking to Joe. I even got Joe voice note in, which I was quite happy about. Speaking to Joe yesterday. And the goalposts have moved on that. We followed Farke down this lane of 92 points to get promoted. It doesn't anymore, Joe. It just like in Premier League, you needed 40 to be safe. You don't even need 40, like 36 sometimes because the gaps.
I don't think he said though we need 92 points this season.
He said I don't know about this season. Last season, he said if you get 92 points, you'll get promoted. He definitely said that last season.
Yeah,
2
not
points a game.
Season.
But the goalposts have moved now. When you think of the quality coming down to Championship, the 3 that come down, I know Luton, thank God Luton have been an outlier because we'd be really struggling then if they'd have had a good year. But you look at it and go, it's probably 95 plus now. The goalposts have moved it for the quality. 90 points isn't enough. 92 points probably isn't enough now to guarantee.
But why does Farke need blame for that though?
No, I'm just saying. It's something he's mentioned. I've heard him say it a couple of times now, and I'm just saying when we talk about Farke and his mentality, if he's been drilling into boys that 2 points a game is enough, I'm just saying now it's not.
But 2 points a game is enough, though, right?
It's enough to get you near. It's enough to get you close.
Yeah,
it's not enough to get you promoted.
What's the points per game of everyone up there? I guess.
Well, I mean, you think by end of season now it's going to be? I think.
You can't get. It's not 3 points a game, is it? So it's like 2 points.
No, it's 2 points. It's 2 points. Yeah. But
nothing's gained.
But 92 points isn't enough, is it?
No.
It's not. I'm just saying it isn't, regardless of how you look at it. But 2.0 points a game isn't enough.
To be honest, mate, I didn't think 3 teams would get 90, and I've said that before. And
it's going to be 95, probably, Joe. It could be 3 above 95, which is nuts.
Yeah. I think, like I say, I've got a lot wrong this season, 100%, and I'll never shy away from that fact. I won't not talk about it. You know what I mean? And I didn't think 3 would get 90. I remember people were saying 4. I was like, nah, it'll be 2. I said Demar, I still stand by the point. I did say 10 points ahead. I believed that fact. Matty believed it.
Yeah.
Others did as well. Yeah. I think at the time we were flying. We were flying, and it's fallen. I mean, you could talk about front and centre. Of course, I said these things. I know I was wrong. Take
Millier's mistakes out when we are, Joe.
Exactly. This is the point.
You're looking at it like that.
But we have been front and centre. We've been there. Apart from the away form period, I think it was
before
8
Christmas,
games or whatever. But we have been front and centre. We only dropped into second last week. Like, it is what it is. But I'll own up, and if we don't go up, it is an almighty crumble of the highest order. It's
I wanted to get your opinion on something, Joe, while I was on. I was watching your show earlier from yesterday. And Ampadu, right? So he didn't look at it. It happens. People are saying he's not match fit, whatever. He shouldn't have played him. I think he'll looked all right in training. He started him, whatever. He didn't look fit. He brought him off. I made the right decision. Didn't leave it till 70. He brought him off early-ish, didn't he, for him? You know, it would have shocked to see him sub at 55, right? I don't like. It's hard saying not a one-man team, but I always think Tanaka has to play. Then it were weird to see Ampadu and another when it should always be Tanaka and one, but Tanaka can't play every game. Obviously, you know, I understand that. But is it a conversation now when you look at it of maybe Ampadu, especially this game? I know it's away from home, so it changes things, but maybe going forward, maybe he's a bench option because Tanaka's got to start when fit at home. Yeah, but Rothwell for me, I know away from home it doesn't always work, but Rothwell's probably one of the only few that comes off with credit for that game. So how do you drop him? And you look, you think
I think he will drop him away from home.
I think he will, but I don't like that. You imagine he doesn't drop Melier, but he drops Rothwell. This is where you start to lose faith in your manager. This is how can you not drop Melier but drop Rothwell? How?
Well, but due to the opposition that we're playing, and obviously we're away from home, and I think it's the right decision. But if he sticks with the keeper, it's fucking insane, mate. It's insane. But and we probably won't go up, and that's on him. Like, at the end of the day, the failure is on him. And
because he leaves then, doesn't he? And we're stuck with it. That's the issue.
100%. And Melier would be vilified within the fan base. Let's be honest.
Do you think going forward then it will be Ampadu and Tanaka if Ampadu's
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? It's like you said, I agree with you. Tanaka has to play, but we know Ampadu's his boy, Ampadu's his captain. I do think the fan base, certain sections of the fan base, are too disparaging towards Ampadu. Someone said once that he slows it down and it's stuck and they can't get it out of their head. It is what it is. Ampadu's a top player.
When he's injured, you notice him missing, don't you? That's the biggest compliment you can give to Ampadu. When he's not playing, we struggle.
100%. I think he might, if I'm honest, Matty, I think he might go on to in the 10, and he might play Tanaka and Ampadu together, so it gives him the defensive structure
that makes sense
that we need.
Yeah. If you're losing Aronson's running, I could definitely see that.
That's the point. That's where I'm at. But I don't know, man. It's honestly, Matty, I'm shitting myself, mate. Like, because I can't.
Isn't it?
Yeah, man. I just want it out of the way. You know, I listened to Square Ball earlier, and Michael was saying like he just wants it done, and I do as well. I can't be arsed for the.
I've always said, mate, I love the jeopardy, and I know you do to a degree. You know, you like that. I see you know, match reactions and stuff. No, but your match reactions and your goal celebration that only comes from nerves, and you just go through roof.
Yeah.
You know when you're 2-0 up and you cruise and you score, hey, it's great. We've got another one, but it's not as those Sunderland games, that Sheffield United games, those moments. Individual games, I don't mind the jeopardy, but when it's a season-defining moment, what could jeopardise you going up on that? It's just too hard to bear at the minute. I've got anxiety. I've got this knot in my stomach that won't go on, man. How many Gregs I eat? It's proper pissing me off. I can't lie. It's just so stressful. And I don't like nitpicking at players. I don't like saying I want Mez out. I don't like saying Farke. I hate negativity. I absolutely hate. It's probably been the most negative I've been since having the channel this week. And I just hope to God they can get it right for Saturday, because I just want to spin it round and just enjoy the end of the season. But I haven't even let myself, Joe, have a moment where I don't envisage us all in Millennium Square come May. I haven't even allowed myself to think of that not happening.
Same.
So I do believe it's happening.
I've been looking at gimbals to buy. So when we do fucking, honestly, mate, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Because I'm like you. I've not. This hasn't. I did I did a Luton podcast, and they were yesterday, and they were talking to me, and I said, listen, it hasn't even entered my psyche. It's not even entered my psyche that we wouldn't get promoted. Now it's starting to creep in of like, oh shit.
Exactly
like,
the same, mate.
It could happen.
Exactly the same. It's mad because it feels bigger than last season, doesn't it, for me? I always felt we had another season of a decent side, a decent run. It's so nervy because it doesn't feel like a third year would have this level of player, this level of talent and squad. If I'm honest, I'm really, you're worried. You look at your Norwiches, your Stokes, you know, your sides like that, and you're thinking, third year parachute payment, you know, you really are diluted down. And that's where my worry comes from. you know, are you talking a couple of years being 14th in Championship again? You know, we just don't want to even think about it. So it has to happen. That's where the pressure comes from. But I'll be honest with you, Joe. I back the boys. I think the talent's there. It's the mentality. Have they got the mentality? I'm always a big advocate of when you've struggled and you've seen it and you've gone through those scars and you've healed. And this year, there's been moments where you've seen, and then all of a sudden they've come through it. And I've been big in the mentality up, saying the grown from last year, but it's hit the form the same moment. So you're starting to have a wobble, but the lads are feeling it. But the talent's there. They want it. They want it themselves. They want to be Premier League footballers. And some of the players, this will be their only chance to ever get that. This season will be their only ever chance to get that. So I've got to back them, but it's just a nervy time at the minute, lad. But I'm sure we'll get there. I'm sure we'll get there. Yeah, no, it really is. It really is.
It is. It's minging. And again, the fan base is at loggerheads. I mean, the chat tonight's been absolutely brutal. They're all arguing with each other. And that's where we're at right now. And the only way that this can change is to get a positive result on Saturday, bro. Like,
it's got to be. Like I say, we see a lot of time, don't we? 50-50 split with whether it's a Bamford or an Aronson, or now it's Farke, now are we getting promoted, are we not? It's like a 50-50 split between fan base, and it's awful, isn't it, when we're divided like this. But there's, you know, I can see credence in both sides as well. You can see. I can look at the side like. I mean,
I don't think it's mad to be asking for. I think it's crazy to think he gets sacked, though, bro.
Oh yes, I mean, you say that now, but if we get beat the next 2 games, it probably don't feel crazy anymore. But right now, it feels crazy. We're second and 7 games left. What you're playing at? I mean, anyone who walked into that job, it's best job in football, isn't it? Usually getting a job in relegation zone, like it'd be an unbelievable job for someone. It seems crazy. Maybe not in a week's time though, Joe. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it seems crazy now. But like, there's credence to everybody. You look at it and go, you know, my mate's a bit of a happy clapper. My mate Priestley. Anybody? I know I've seen a few people in chat who watched my instant match reaction in car with him. I went off, and he knows how to press my buttons, and he's a wind up. But like, I understand why you'd be confident, because you back the boys, you look at the talent, you know the manager has done it before. There's so much credence to those points that I can buy into that notion. On the other side, the negative stuff, I can also buy into that because we've seen it before. The Leeds thing, your dad always wins thing, you know, it's always there. But the fact it's happening at the same time as last season, the fact that he's coming out with some stuff in his post-match, it's got me worried a little bit, because it's not normal stuff he says. The way that it felt in the stadium, I can understand the negative side as well. But as a fan base, I think we all believe in the boys. We all know the talent's there.
Yeah, it's just
it's just a bit of a split minute. But yeah, the mentality, mate. It's just the pressure. Can they deal with the pressure? And it all starts with, for me, Farke's got to make the right decisions and put the right team on the field to then give them the best opportunity. And we all know what that team should be now. We all know what that should be.
Who's your 11 for Saturday, mate?
Darlow, Firpo, Stroud, Don Bogle. I'd go Tanaka, and I'd go Rothwell, but he'll go Ampadu. I'd go Tanaka and Rothwell, and I'd play Dan James, Nonto, Ramazani, and Pirro. But Ramazani's the wild card. I think the rest of them, Ampadu will probably play over Rothwell, but I think Ramazani's a wild card. But I just think mix it up. I think shake it up. But I think Solomon starts. I think Ampadu starts. But 100%, I think Darlow plays. 100% he plays.
I think Darlow has to come in.
I just think what I'd like to see is, obviously we won't see it, but I'd like to see the Luton manager look at our team sheet and go, ooh, you know, why not? The talent's there. The talent is there. You're playing at the bottom of league, Luton.
No, mate, they've had some good results last few weeks. They are. I'll tell you now, mate. They're in some decent form, to be honest, as their form goes, I guess. They're 23rd, so they beat Hull 1-0, drew with Middlesbrough 0-0, and beat Cardiff 2-1. Lost to Burnley 4-0. That was at Turf Moor. They did go down to 10 men, and they beat Portsmouth 1-0. So
really good form.
Yeah, for where they're at,
relegation side,
yeah. So they're 2 points off 21st now. So it's do or die time for them. But the facts are, Leeds have only lost 1 in the last 5, which is the same as fucking Luton. But in terms of form, mate, over the last 5, Luton are actually higher than us, I think.
It's not ideal, is it?
It's mad. It's mad. We're 12th in the form.
So they're going to want it though, Joe, aren't they? This is a problem. They're going to fight for every second ball.
100%.
Are we going to be up for that fight? Because I don't see it at the minute. They've got all the talent in the world at this level, but have they got the fight? Have they got the minerals to do we want promotion more than they want to stay in the division? You'd think so.
Yeah.
But do we? You know, we didn't want promotion more than Swansea wanted 3 points on Saturday. We didn't. Simple as we were lucky to get a point, let alone win the game. They played so well, this Swansea. Can we go to Luton and outfight them? Because you need to outfight your side first to earn the right to play. And if you don't fight, then you deserve everything you get. And that's where I'm at. I need to see them fight.
That's why I think we need Tanaka and Amper to win there.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah, I have to agree.
That defensive solidity and see what non-talk. We'll have to wait and see, though. We will have to wait and see. It's Gary Todd, Joe, if you, as many others claim, we have the best squad in the league, why aren't we top by a few points at this stage? Something not adding up. Well, you would say that we've not been winning enough games. It doesn't take away from the fact that, and to be honest, now after January, we don't have the best squad.
Do you not think?
The best, I think we have the best 11. We don't have the best squad, mate. Burnley have a better squad. I'm talking about outside of the 11 that go out.
Is that because he plays the full squad, so you see him more?
Maybe if we'd have seen more of Ramazani, Joseph, and Nonto, I would have a different take. But I think Sheffield United as well. Like in terms of what they've done, you had like Andre Brooks, for example, who was starting season for them on the right hand side. I thought he was great. He can't even get a look in anymore. They bought him Ben Brereton Diaz. I mean, the guy, what's his face? He's called Tom Cannon. He can't even get a look in. You know, they've got Kiefer Moore. He can't get a look in.
They've got
no disrespect. We've got Pirro.
Yeah,
and now they have underneath Tyrese Campbell, who's smashing it, who they got on a free. They have Kiefer Moore and Tom Cannon. Yeah. That's 3, bro.
They've all strengthened them, haven't they? Yeah, they've all strengthened them with championship players. They've got championship ready players.
But Callum O'Hare can't even get a game.
Crazy.
Because Ryan Brewster's playing in the 10 and smashing it. Then on the left, you've got Hamer or Diaz. On the right, you've got Brooks. You've got Diaz. You've then got Sidney Peck. They don't even have what's his face? Arblaster fit. It's mad. But the point is, Bob, right? I wouldn't say that. They can't get a look in. Yeah. I would give anything to be able to call on Kiefer Moore from our bench.
Instead of Joseph.
I would even give anything to call on Tom fucking Cannon off our bench.
Yeah.
We don't have it. You know, look, you can talk about the level, but you must agree, mate, they have options after January that we don't have.
100%. Like I say, Kiefer Moore, mate, he might not be having a great season, he might not. But when you need a goal, of course you would. 100%. 100%. Like, Joseph just hasn't done it for us this season, has he? Like you say, that depth they've got there, it's championship depth. We haven't got that. We've literally got Pirro, shit or bust, because you've got a kid waiting at wings, that's it.
Burnley even went and got Ashley Barnes on a free. Just in case.
Now you are scraping battle, lad.
No, but my point is they went and got him just in case.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
And we did fuck all again.
Yeah, no, it's fair, mate. We just hoped, didn't we, come end of January, we just hoped we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Should have got a 9. We should have.
Just in case as well, mate. You know, we didn't have to go get starters. We said, just in case, go get these players.
Yeah.
But Armstrong have rather come to Leeds United and fancy his chances, which he would have done. He'd have fancied his chance at all.
And look, it'll all come out in the wash at the end of the season because Angus Kinnear's not shy for coming forward. That's another thing that's pissing me off is that why did we? We've changed all the. I don't know.
Why are we doing it now? Why are we announcing all this backroom stuff at this time of season?
Changed all the backroom stuff. You've got to be. The 49ers have got their eyes on Rangers and all that. I don't know. It just seems...
It coincides with bad form, Joe, when you're honest. It actually does when you look at it.
Negligence from everybody. The manager as well. Yeah. For not rotating. Yeah, for not doing that. Yeah. But also on the board for me. Because... And I've seen people say, well, it's the manager. They said the same when it would be Beelzebub when he won't sign play. He turning them down, yeah, because they were shit. Now, if it comes out in the wash that the manager turned down Armstrong, then he's insane. He's insane. But the point is, and please, people, when I'm mentioning these players, that I'm not saying we should have signed Ashley Barnes. I'm not saying that. But what my point is, the other two made sure they got fail safes. We did nothing.
Yeah.
Did nothing. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing.
100%. For 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Why did we not learn?
You learn from your mistakes, apparently, in life, don't you? That's what it's all about. And we just haven't. And they risked it. And I think maybe it's been a risk too far, mate. We'll know in a few weeks, won't we? But put a positive spin on it, mate. You still believe or what?
Yeah, man, it's waning though. Of course,
I just want to get.
I want to get Luton out of way, mate. I want to get Luton. I want to win.
It can all change like that, can't it? Good performance, 3 points, and all of a sudden
100%.
We're all up in air, confidence builds, and we're flying. Then,
yeah, 100%.
Can you even imagine not winning it, Joe? It's just you don't even bear thinking about it, does it?
Yeah,
don't bear thinking
I
about
can't even begin. But all we have is belief, mate. I won't sign it off until it's mathematically impossible.
I'm saying, buddy.
You know, until
we're right to feel this way, aren't we? But like you said, until it's mathematical,
it's like, look, like Demar, you've said there, what happens if we draw? If Burnley draw, then it's as you were. If they win, then again, it's, but I'll still not sign it off. I'm sorry. I will not sign it off until it's mathematically impossible. Because for me, you have to believe. That's all I've got as a fan.
Yeah,
that's the way I am.
I think we need to stay. Rather than obviously we've been on about building a lead, haven't we, for so long? But we need to just stay as we are at least until them two play each other, and then that's sort of a bit of a get out of jail card. If we can stay where we are as a minimum, match their results, and then from that moment on when they play each other, we've then got to take it to the next level, and that's our chance. There's a glimmer of hope because they can't all take maximum points currently. We could win every game. One of them two teams could, but they all can't. That's a little glimmer of hope there. Sort of hang your hat on.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting. What transpires? I'm just gonna say a few things. I read the chat tonight. Really disappointed with some of the to and fro between people. You're all right to take shots at me, man. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. I do find it frustrating when people who believe they're my friends offline don't act the same way they do in the chat offline. And I think sometimes the way that you speak to people, if you spoke to me that, you wouldn't speak to me like that in person, and that's a fact. So that can get frustrating. But what I will say is just you can take shots at me, that's fine, but behave like that off this live chat as well, please. And then we won't be cool. Do you know what I mean? Then we won't be cool. But what I will also say as well, that we have different opinions and all that sort of stuff. But when we're all having a go at each other in chat, it's not helping anybody. No. Just riling people. So yeah, if we could do that, that'd be great. Yeah, if we could do that, that'd be great. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, Matty, before we go, let's see. I did save some chats. Love your guest tonight, Joe. What channel? Do you want to tell everyone about Imagine Not Being Leeds?
Yeah, mate. Thank you for that, Kilgallen. It's Imagine Not Being Leeds. Got it's quite an exciting channel at the minute. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to leave it under wraps, but I've got an interview to do tomorrow with someone who's played for England and scored for England and still plays football now. I'm going to say who it is, but it's a mental health podcast.
I know.
I've got a segment of my channel called Ups and Downs. that I've done, I think, 5 episodes on. I don't put too much out there. Just now and again, I'm a massive advocate of men's mental health, especially. So it's a little segment there. I'm really lucky. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Someone's got me this player to come on. He's never played for Leeds, which is quite ironic because he does know what it's like not to be Leeds. But I'm really excited for that. It's a pre-record that'll be going out in the next couple of days. Let me see how it goes first. But as you know, Joe, as well, I've got I do a late night Leeds on a Friday night. I've also brought in a late night Leeds ladies, which is one episode what came out last week. Becky, Emily, and Gemma were fantastic. A bit nervous, but loved it. They've done so well. Unfortunately, Becky's been in hospital. Joe, you probably don't know she's been in hospital since Thursday. She come out today, so there might not be an episode this week. But yeah, I wanted to have an all ladies like panel, and I think they've done really well. We've got a really good mix there. But yeah, just the usual stuff. Do match day vlogs. And yeah, I'm just real. I'm just me. I'm just a bit of a tool, but people seem to like it, so I'm loving it. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to come on, my friend, and speak a little bit about it. Much appreciated.
No worries, my man. Always smashing it. So make sure you're going over and check out Imagine Not Being Leeds, folks. If we lose 1-0 versus Luton, no one will be surprised. No, you're probably right. You're probably right. Like this is a thing. We could easily. To be honest, in my head, I think we draw 1-1 maybe. You know, I know, but I can't get away. It's Luton, it's Minging, it's fucking lunchtime. Brutal. But yeah, we'll see. Fergal Kelly, did you see Lockie's latest video? I haven't yet. He says it's absolutely brilliant. So listen, Lockie's quality. It is what it is. Lockie's one of the goats, man. His knowledge is great as well. 60 subs off 2K, make it happen. Yeah, listen, there's 512 people here, so I'm sure we can get close to at least. So if you haven't already, please do go over and subscribe. I know it's
thank you all so much, man. It means a lot, Joe. Yeah. Thanks Formula Sonny. Thank you everybody in chat. Class.
Send some love. Danny talks sports way as well. Danny's a goat of the chats. And it's London. It's not London, is it? It's not London.
Almost, but not quite.
Almost, yeah. It's not quite there.
It's a dinner time kickoff that worries me more than old Joe. I don't know what it is. I hate having these hoodoos, but it's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's there.
It's going to be horrible as well if it's 0-0 at half time and Burnley are winning 1. The thing is with Burnley, Matty, when they go 1-0 up, I'm like, that's them done now.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it, mate? It is really difficult.
Can't say that about us at minute, can you? That's the problem.
No, you can't. Look, folks, it's it's going to be tough. It's going to be rough.
I hate seeing you like this, mate. I'm
on the floor with it, bro. I'm on the floor with it. Like I won't like you.
You're the beaming light usually. You're the beaming light, mate. It's awful.
I can't lie. I'm on the floor with it.
I know. And I know your whole emotions Leeds based. You're like me. Your whole life is. Man. It's awful. This.
Someone actually messaged me Sunday and was like, "Are you okay?" Because once the game finished Saturday, that was it. I was off. I got just didn't speak to nobody, man. And then I hadn't even scheduled. I didn't even schedule the final word or and they were like, "Are you all right?" And I was just fucking in bed, man.
Shit,
yeah. It was Sunday as well, Mother's Day, obviously as well. So it was a bit rough in that respect. But,
yeah.
Look, imagine we win at Luton, bro, and Burnley drop points. Then it's massive again, innit? We're like, yes, we're fucking up. You know what I mean? That's how quick it can turn, bro. That is how quick it can.
And that's why we've got to cling on to, my friend. We've got to cling on to that. It's still
100%.
on.
That's how quick it can turn, man. And I know you're passionate, Sean. I know you're passionate as well. We all are, right? We all are.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can spill over from everybody, myself included. So we move 7 games to be won. Keep fighting Leeds, says Jonathan Brook. Yeah. Let's hope we can do that. Make sure you check out Imagine Not Being Leeds. And I'll see you in a bit, folks. Thanks for watching tonight. There'll be something tomorrow. I think Joe might be back from work, so we'll see if I can chat to Joe. Wait and see, though. And I think as well, actually, on Joe Blackburn's channel, we might be doing a draft for the. We might be doing a draft for the teams for the Creator Cup.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, we'll see who's on whose teams and who's going to get first pick and all that jazz. So, anyway, make sure you're about for that on Joe B streaming. We'll see you in a bit. Peace out, folks. Bye-bye.